not regulated right now, which gives them carte blanche to whatever they want right now. Elon is not someone who likes to be regulated. And so to buy MSN, he would go under some federal regulations.
Who's regulating CNN right now?
The FCC.
We're not a broadcast. It's cable.
I mean, I don't really think cable stations are under the same regulatory structure
that public airways.
that broadcast is.
It's definitely regulated more than than Facebook and
there's
Twitter.
Still, what she's saying is that there's still a litmus test of journalism that you have to pass. You can't come on TV and just make up things and say things. That happens on X. Please don't give me the eyebrow furrow as if you don't know what I'm talking about. It happens often on X. I can go and say the color is blue, and I will be met with so many disrespectful remarks. No one's regulating the N-word. No one's regulating the criticism. No one is regulating how people are treated.
How much government regulation of the First Amendment are you for?
Let me tell you something. If I came on here and I just started calling you all kind of names, do you think the bosses would let me continue to do that?
I mean, it happens to me occasionally. I don't know if you watch
it doesn't happen to you, but it doesn't happen for me. And I know that I wouldn't be able to do that. There's a level of professionalism in what we do here because we are journalists and we adhere to something, at least morally. And there is no moral compass on this thing called
We're also having a...
Seems like I've been talking about the media a lot lately. As you guys saw on the intro, CNN wants X regulated, right? And also, it seemed like they're so concerned over the fact that Elon Musk may buy MSNBC, and they believe that this is a way for the government to regulate Elon Musk, even though the incoming administration is Donald Trump, right? But, I digress. And in that intro, you saw how much concern, look at the bigotry, all the hate, they don't have journalistic integrity, they don't have any ethics or morals. And I'm like, so you believe the average person don't have ethics and morals, but for some reason, just because you have a piece of paper calling yourself a journalist, somehow you're above us? And this is this elitism that I'm talking about that ruins the Democratic Party. This is why a lot of people are turned off by the Democratic Party and their messaging, right? They'll sit here, chastise and criticize people because, we're a threat to their market share. We're a threat to their viewership. Here's an example. Here's Tim Pool quote tweeting, LOL, Timcast media is triple the size of Axios. You're the media now, Elon Musk. The reason CEO of Axios is melting down might be because his audience share has cratered the past 3 months. And I think this is all of them. And CNN, this is not the first time CNN called for regulation. I remember in the early 2016s when Trump won the election, Brian Stelter was talking about regulating Spotify, podcasts, YouTube, because all these what do you call it? The authoritative sources. That's how he called it, legacy media and all these guys that have the credentials. Oh, look at my credentials. Look at my degree I got from Harvard. They'll say, "Oh, look, these videos are taking views away from authoritative sources, and YouTube should change their algorithm to point to authoritative sources instead of these podcasters." This is him when they were attacking Ben Shapiro. So this is nothing new from CNN. But I just like to find it interesting that these people on the panel, right? And this is one of my biggest criticisms from Abby Phillips, who happens to be speaking in Harvard. That's why she's not moderating the show currently. But she warns that Democrats need to break out of their echo chamber, right? And she brags about, we allow pro-Trump voices on the panel. Yeah, but you outnumber them with a bunch of liberal ones. I don't consider that a win. I mean, it's better than nothing. And this is one of the, I think, statements that I made in my prior videos about the media is that CNN, it will be MSNBC without pro-Trump voices. That means the day CNN stops letting pro-Trump voices speak on their panel is the day they become MSNBC, because you already see it. They outnumber Scott Jennings, and you're going to see the chaos that ensues, because Scott Jennings will make a point in this next clip and see how they disregard it because it goes against a narrative that they want to sow. Let's take a look.
So I heard what you're saying about X. I saw a survey this week. It's now the most ideologically balanced user platform.
Scott, stop. It's too early. I just sat down. I've only been here for 2 minutes. You cannot continue to say
the show, but
you cannot say that.
So
that's not the case.
So
Who's the source of that?
What I find, we reported it on this network.
It's not accurate, and you know it.
Okay, I'll let you make your statement.
Scott,
but my point is
can I reframe it a different way? Because the site changed radically, right? So whether you think the voices it is somehow more balanced now, that's fine. But no doubt Musk's influence is profound, and that you open it up and now you're there with his opinion, and he is now part of this administration. So does anyone else think that there should be this greater concern about billionaires purchasing media companies?
Okay. Would you be worried if Bill Gates controlled MSNBC?
No, because he's sane.
Because MS...
Isn't it hilarious? Oh, George Soros can buy a bunch of radio stations and get fast-tracked. Imagine, by the FCC. So even if they're regulated, they can get... George Soros can get fast-tracked to buy 200 radio stations. Bill Gates can buy MSNBC because you judge him as sane. And that's subjective, because if you were conservative, you wouldn't want George Soros, not George Soros, you wouldn't want Bill Gates buying MSNBC, right? Because he, he's on your ideological side. You want him buying. You say no, it's fine because he's sane. How you know Elon Musk is insane? You just spread a claim, an unproven claim. What evidence do you have to suggest that Elon Musk isn't sane? Because you don't like his behavior. They're very subjective, and then that's the funny part about these people. In the intro, you just heard Carrie Champion. Now, Carrie Champion, I don't know what she's doing talking about politics. Last time I checked, she was a sports reporter, but hey, I digress. In the first breath, she was saying, oh, we have to back up our statements. We can't just make false statements on this channel. And now, in the same segment, she's talking about how Elon Musk is not sane, and Bill Gates is sane. What evidence do you have to suggest that? That's a subjective framing. And this is the kind of stuff that people are talking about, that you are dishonest, because people don't care about, oh, we're journalists, we're governed by morals and ethics. No one cares about this little fluff you're talking about. Like I said, the results matter more. And if you get it wrong more than people who don't have these credentials and they get it more right than you are, people's going to go with what works. I don't care how fancy your car is. If it's unreliable, it doesn't get the job done, but someone else's car, which is less luxurious, less known, gets the job done, people are going to pick that product. And then you wonder why their market share is plummeting. And instead, like sore losers, they want the refs to come help them out. Here's Carrie Champion talking about why X should be regulated. Let's take a look.
X, and you said in some ways, always. I feel like X, I don't know if anyone is on it in any capacity. I don't know if you're on it. And you're the only one? You're on it? You all are on it? Okay. I've actually decided to take a rest of peace because it is not a peaceful place for me.
She's a stereotype for real. Because on this channel, I talk about how Democratic women are 30 times more likely to disassociate, block people of alternative points of view, because it seems like for Democrat women, being exposed to someone who don't go along with 100% of what they think, somehow that's traumatic for them. Somehow that is emotionally hurtful for them. It impacts them on an emotional level, because after them is Democrat men, and Democrat men is like 14% of the time that they'll block somebody of opposing political opinion, which is around the average for all Americans. And we're conservatives and conservative men and women are like under the 11%. Conservative men are 8% of the time. Conservative women at 10% of the time that will block somebody because of opposing political opinions. But Democratic women, 30%. So now that X becomes more balanced, because CNN reported on this, as you saw from the intro, from one of my clips, I showed you that, hey, CNN reported that there's parity now. While before Elon Musk bought it, it was overwhelmingly Democrat. So this is my argument, is that Democrats seem to only be able to coexist in spaces where they have the leverage. For instance, this panel, I bet you if you knew the political affiliations of everyone on the table, maybe 2 people will be non-Democrats that's sitting on the table. But it's clear that there's more Democrats on the table, or more people who are non-Republicans on the panel than they are. This is what I'm talking about, the unequal balance. Democrats seem to only be able to discuss or have strength in situations where they outnumber the opposition. And this seems to be always the case. I digress, though.
And I know if, in fact, you don't agree with this current administration, most people can say that it's not a peaceful place. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an actual bid made to take on MSNBC, but the fact that it just can't happen in real life.
And we
just
can't.
can't.
It's not even for sale.
Yeah, it's not officially for sale.
The last
It's not
time he
even
mused
realistic
about maybe buying something.
It's not even realistic in real life. But I do believe that media, everyone sitting here at this table, if you don't agree, we are in for some tough. We're in for some tough years ahead. I do believe that we are not going to be able to be as safe or say what we want to. I don't think free speech is going to be as free.
Now, Scott, I want to bring you in here because this kind of link to Orban.
Scott Jennings is confused. He's like, yo, you, Carrie Champion, I forget her name. You made the argument that X should be regulated. And now you're sitting here pretending that Donald Trump is going to regulate everybody? Make it make sense. And it seemed like they still have not understood why people don't trust the mainstream media. Mainstream media, you talking about like journalistic integrity and all this crap, all this little word salad you got going on. But when we look at the results, okay, did you get COVID right? No. Did you offer retraction? No. Remember the liberals, they put out a public apologies. Oh, apologize for us. You know, we're anxious and vulnerable. No, but that don't excuse the way you treated people during COVID, and you got everything wrong. All your recommendations was wrong. CNN was peddling that. Did you offer an apology or a retraction? No. But you're talking about journalistic integrity. Y'all don't pay attention to what your own side does. George Soros, who's known as a left-wing billionaire, he's buying up radio stations left and right. No, not a peep out of you guys. Not a word about that. You wasn't worried about journalistic integrity until Jeff Bezos says something about the Washington Post. Now y'all mad because y'all see, oh, they want more neutrality. When the left is so used to special treatment, equality feels like oppression. And this is what's going on right now. That's why y'all running to blue skies. Don Lemon, all these actresses and actors, they want to leave X and go to blue skies, where it's a space exclusively for them. And they say, oh, I feel so much better in blue skies. Because you're triggered by people simply because they disagree with you. This is why I say the left has no future right now. Because y'all are so fragile intellectually that y'all can't even take people disagreeing with you. Scott Jennings brought up a good point. Hey, it's more ideological diverse than it was in years prior. Carrie Champion immediately go, no, that's not true. Stop it. And then he says, well, it was reported by CNN. And she goes, oh, it wasn't reported correctly. So you, just to keep your perspective or narrative going, you discredit it. You discredit the own network that's having you on currently right now. And you just finished bragging about, oh, you can't lie the same way you can here on CNN. You have to have at least journalistic integrity. Talk like so much hypocrisy. And this is why I think people are fed up with the mainstream media. I'm gonna leave this clip right here, and then I wrap up with my final thoughts. Elon Musk. Hear Elon Musk's mom, right? Now, one thing people said that woke them up to the lies of the mainstream media is when the mainstream media starts talking about something that's in their field. If you're a working professional, let's say you work in a hospital, medical field, hospitality, business, and when you hear these journalists talk about something that you are aware of, you quickly call them out and say, no, that's not accurate. And here's how I think she represents how normal, people her age starts reacting when they hear news and they realize that, oh, they're just honest about everything. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't to inform you. The goal is to control perception. So that way you act on that perception based on voting for their preferred candidate, Kamala Harris, or believing in certain things. Oh, it didn't come from China. And then 3 years later, they have to admit they came from China. And then you're sitting there holding the bag saying, what? And this is the problem with the left. And this is why I said the left is so deceitful. They'll lie and lie to your face until you actually do what they want you to do. And then when it's too late for you to take back the decision, that's when they want to inform you, oh, we got it wrong. And this is how you piss off a lot of people. And COVID was a big part of that. People got vaccinated thinking they wouldn't get COVID. Then they still got COVID, and then they made, oh, we got COVID, but I already got the vaccine already. So you tricked me. And this is what I think drove the rage towards the mainstream media. But I digress. Let's hear what Mama Musk has to say.
Media has to change, and the politicians have to change and stop being mean and nasty and dishonest because, as I say, they used to always hate on Elon for 15 years, but I trusted them with the other news, where they hated the Republican Party, they hated Fox News, and then I realized no, they are dishonest in all aspects, and media has to change, and the politicians have to change and stop being.
I mean, there's a reason why most Americans don't trust the mainstream media. There's a reason why trusting the media is at the bottom. And what did they do to address it? You got Abby Phillips going to Harvard talking to college students about how, yeah, there needs to be more political. That's not where the conversation should be had, Abby Phillips. Abby Phillips should do a panel where it's people like just regular voters who use X and ask them, why do you guys use X why not trust legacy TV media? And I bet you'll get a more insightful answer than just sitting around asking a bunch of college students who's been indoctrinated in an environment that's 12-1 favoring liberals and the left-wing worldview. They don't get it. They don't get it. And then they're wondering why their industry is hollowing out. This is a panic attack, honestly, from the mainstream media. It's showing that they're legitimately scared that people won't need them anymore. Because the reality is, as much as journalists like to brag about how valuable and important they are, in reality, they're nothing more than a middleman. Because if you had the time, right, American citizens, if you had the time to research and do the articles, you wouldn't need them. And that's the reality. And people found a more accessible, a more honest, a more upfront platform called X. Oh, I know these are real people. Oh, I know these people have real opinions, real beliefs, and I know they can be wrong. They don't hide around this veneer of, oh, I'm an authority figure in this space. You know you can question anybody on X. The media has this perception that you shouldn't question them on anything. Ask me a question I can't answer, not an answer I can't question. That is social media. That's why I say, hey, I'd rather trust the social media. I'd rather trust the internet more than the TV, because the TV is paid to lie to me. People on social media are more likely to just do it out of their own accord. They volunteer work. They're more likely to just do it because, hey, look, I'm trying to build a platform, but I'm tired of what they got reported on. They act as a check against each other. That's the centrist way of looking at it. The TV and the internet, they balance each other out. But the TV is threatened because the internet has been winning a lot lately, has been right about a lot of things, has been very accurate on how things are in reality. And this is what they're scared of, because they don't want to change their ways. But we'll see. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you believe that CNN is MSNBC without any pro-Trump voices? I would like to hear your thoughts about the fact that they seem to be desperately, it seemed like they want to stonewall Elon from buying any news cable media networks because they're so under threat. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.